All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to some more Dakota Collegiate Rocket League action. And I have a little bit of a surprise here when I switch these scenes. Blasky, your cam seems to have pooped the bed.
That's huge.
You're blank on my screen, so
that's a W.
If you want to try and reconnect, that'd be great. If not, all good. But ladies and gentlemen, we do have some Division D action here coming for you guys. We have 2 total series. We're gonna start with some Division D. There's Blasky. Let's go. We got Blasky. Welcome back to the stream. But like I said, we do have Division D action here between Version 2 and Goons, who are 2 of the top teams here in Division D. But Blasky, how does it feel to be back in the caster's desk, my guy?
Oh, it's been a minute. I've been super busy. Built a new PC, so I actually get to play some Rocket League decently, and so I've been busy with that. And I figured I got some time today. I'd cast a couple if there were more than one game, but
yeah, and I can tell you guys right now, I was noticing this in the cams before. Both Blasky and I have some dirt on our lips right now. Mine looks a lot worse, but
tell that.
I just thought it was kind of funny that we're both trying to do something with some facial hair. But ladies and gentlemen, like I said, Division D action to start off the night. I'm super excited to see how both of these teams do perform. So throwing it on over here to this screen here, the overall Division D standings. Like I said before, this is going to be between Version 2 and the Goons. Version 2, the team to beat here in Division D, starting off this season 5-0, looking to go 6-0 here before the spring break. And I mean, they're just dominant. I mean, in 2 very important categories. I mean, obviously winning percentage. They're winning 88% of their individual games, which is a crazy stat. And they're also leading in goals per game, which is a pretty important stat, if I do say so myself. They're Blasky, and I mean, they're just looking very dominant across the board. And then obviously they're going to be going up against Goons, who it says they're 3-1. I know they're behind a game right now. I don't know what the outcome of that. So they're either 4-1 or 3-2 right now. I'm not too sure. The stats haven't been input yet. So, like I said, Version 2, the #1 seed so far, and Goons, who have been one of those teams that I think have what it takes to take down this Version 2 team. They're #3 seed right now, and in my opinion, Blasky, it's going to be super interesting. But I'm going to go ahead and toss up first here Version 2 if you want to take a peek at these and kind of give us a little bit of rundown what you see in here.
Yeah, and obviously the biggest outlier out of any player on this field is going to be B. Crawford 13. I mean, almost 2 goals a game. 83% on the goal participation is absolutely nuts. And then you have both of his teammates. I mean, MJ being the second, or I guess the first overall pick in the entire Div D, and he's dropping .94 goals a game, which is super solid from what you wanted your second man. And Dr. Pepper, obviously, having a bunch of saves every game, which is huge for them. He's getting a shot in every now and again. I mean, really solid team. I feel like that 1-2 combo between Crawford and MJ is going to be really solid, and Dr. Pepper as that third man getting those saves is going to be extremely hard to beat. Obviously, they're 5-0 for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, you highlighted it perfectly. Beat 1.94 goals per game, like you said. That is unheard of. We've never had this high of a goals per game across all divisions. I mean, that stat alone is just mind-blowing. To be that close, you're edging 2 goals per game. I mean, you're getting really close to that mark, and that has just never been done. Really just never been done. So historic season so far here for B. Crawford, the captain of this Version 2 team. But onwards, the team that they're going to be facing off against here, the team that's going to be trying to take down the that currently #1 seeded team, is Goons. Like I said, they're 3-1. They're led, all 3 of these teams, by the way, or not teams, all 3 of these players are new to DCRL this season, led by MTX Slicer, joined by XLS and Freak. Like I said, MTX Slicer, this team, they're one of the teams that I could see taking down Version 2 this semester. They've got what it takes. They have the swagger, that is for sure. If you've ever seen a winner's interview with these guys, it's definitely something to pay attention to, because they're all over the place. They have high energy. I mean, I'm pretty sure MTX Slicer, we'll see if he does it this game. Normally he's got his shirt off, he's freaking out in cams. I mean, this guy is a menace. This guy's a menace, you know, bursting into the league. But like I said, he's leading his squad 1.15 goals per game, which is nothing to, you know, that is crazy. That's good stuff. Obviously, it's almost half of what B Crawford has, but I'm not going to say too much there. But they're not leading their division in anything, but across the board pretty even. And one player that I want to highlight, one of my highlight players, is going to be Freak. I've casted a couple of these guys' games, and Freak is supposed to be like that second pick, you know, of this team, and he looks solid. I love watching this guy play. He looks very good. I mean, nice and composed, makes great touches, and he kind of seems to be that cleanup guy, the tap-in merchant for this team, and I really like how he plays. So this team is very well rounded, and you know, that's, in my opinion, at least why I think they have such a good record, Blasky.
Yeah, and that's one of the main things too. There's a stat that you don't see between these two teams. What you see on the scoreboard is that version 2 has 1,700 more boosts per game compared to Goons. So I mean, if the Goons are going to beat this team, they're going to need to be rotating on those boost pads, making sure they just make version 2 just absolutely broke when it comes to the boost department. And I think that's going to be the way that they could take this series, is if they have their second and third man just ensuring that, you know, B Crawford can't do anything. As much as I don't want to put the whole thing on B Crawford's, you know, back, he is basically leading in the MVP race right now, and that's the way to beat him.
I completely agree. But Blasky, as always is the tradition here on our channel, we always have caster predictions. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you make the first decision here. Who are you putting your boost on here in this first series?
So I dropped 15k. I dropped 15k on version 2. I think it's going to be 3-1. I think it's going to go, you know, game 1, they're going to win it. Game 2, they're going to kind of troll it away, and then they're going to lock back in and win the rest of the game out.
Okay, well, I always have to, you know, go against my co-caster, so I'm going to say Goons. I'm going to say Goons somehow do what it takes to take down this undefeated team so far. They're going to take this one. I'm going to say they're going to go to 5. I think this series has what it takes to go all the way to 5. So I'm going to say Goons go ahead and take this one in 5. Like I said, I think you highlighted it perfectly. If they can kind of wait out and not give in and let version 2 make some mistakes, I think they have a great chance.
Absolutely.
Basky, I think your cam did go away again, but
did it die again? That's tragic.
Yeah, it's all good, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 1 underway here between version 2 and Goons. I'm super excited to see this one, Blasky.
Oh, absolutely. As we see MJ kick the ball in the middle, already starting with the demos. And this is not what you want to see. Version 2 being as aggressive as possible out the gate. I mean, and this is what I mean by they are just using way more boost than the other team. They are all over this ball as fast as they possibly can be. But XLS kicks the ball middle to E-Mountain, and he takes the ball up the wall, kicks it middle. And honestly, I can't tell if it's a feel-out game or not, or if, you know, version 2 are just trying to put it out right away. I mean, they're getting demos like nobody's business, but there's a little bit of a whiff there. Dr. Pepper, last one back, kicks the ball up, and it's, you know, a really aggressive game so far from version 2.
I think we're gonna see an aggressive game all the way around from both of these teams. Like I said, Goons, they're just so aggressive, bring a lot of energy, and this might be the first one. Oh, what a save! Coming out from coming out from them.
Almost an accidental own goal from a pool shot. That would have been tragic to start off the series. But Dr. Pepper kicks the ball mid. E-Mountain hits into the corner. Crawford there. And again, if they want to stop this team, they gotta limit getting demoed and up the amount of demos they get as MJ just misses the net. It's another demo. That's his 3rd of the game already. So we see a backflip, but again, I think they came out with the game plan of just demo and cause as much havoc as possible. He shoots it right over one, but Freak with a nice save. Oh my goodness. Man, and it's just relentless.
Yeah, this pressure from version 2 is absolutely crazy. Goons somehow holding on though, you know, just only 2 minutes into this game number 1. And this one's sitting in this blue corner. B Crawford trying to carry this one out, but gets shut down by XLS. This one's midfield as MJ gets a big booming clear to get this pressure away. This ball is just floating in the midfield. XLS takes a touch over to this right side wall here. You're gonna go up the wall, try and find another one. Doesn't find it. Dr. Pepper goes up. It's a fake, and Freak puts it in. Goons taking the first goal here in game number 1, going up 1-0 against this version 2 undefeated team.
And I just want to point out that version 2 have 5 shots, and we're not even halfway through the game. Goons have 1, and they're the only ones to have a goal. And that's just wild, as we see not a kickoff coming from Goons here, which is an interesting strat. Let's see how it works out for him. XLS gets it past 1. B Crawford's there, almost gets the read. Freak accidentally bumps his teammate, but still gets the save again. I mean, it is just a wall in front of that net.
Yeah, this defense from Goons has just been astonishing, really. I can't imagine how they're keeping up with this version 2 offense. I mean, right now version 2 are absolutely running it, and MJ comes in clutch, gets this equalizer. The game is now tied 1-1, 2 minutes and 16 left. And for those of you that are curious, I believe M Mountain 12 is MTX Slicer. I peeked at the chat earlier, and I'm pretty sure that MTX Slicer is actually on somebody else's setup right now. So for anybody wondering, in game at least, M Mountain is MTX Slicer. But the game is tied 1-1, 2 minutes to go, as someone's gonna try and get this this goal coming up here, Blasky.
Oh my god, MJ tried to peek on him. He'd slowly bounce at the net, but XLS is there. No boost, but he's still going to try to follow it. Get a 50, get a fake, and take the boost. And no second man following up there. I see a little bit of nervousness coming out from Goons here. But we see it bounce off backboard. Does anyone have this read? Nice touch for MTX there. I mean, it's just a matter of patience for them as they get another goal. Flicks it over 1 to bring it up 2-1.
I said it before. Look at the energy that this Goon squad brings to the table, especially the captain, MTX Slicer. You can see him clapping his hands in the cam. I mean, he's just a ball of energy, and he's going to bring it every single night.
I mean, that's another thing, too. There's a whole lot of mental to it, and, you know, you got to come into this game just putting that scoreboard away. Don't look at the standings. Just think that it's a whole new week. You just got to beat them. Who cares if they're 5-0? And obviously, it's working out for them as they're up 1-2. There is no one back. XLS get a little bit of a misread. MJX takes a shot. Crawford passes out to 1. MJ gets it past him. No one on this quite yet as MJ gets it over. And that's just right in the neck bar down. I mean, they're just going shot for shot now.
Yeah, they're going back and forth, but a minute to go. Version 2 get the equalizer once again. They seem to have an answer so far for everything that Goons have brought their way. But can Goons get another one here with a minute to go right off the kickoff? XLS goes off to the side. MTX Slicer gets a big 50 that's finding its way through this blue end, looking a little bit awkward. Dr. Pepper gets a good 50. This one might be a shot for MTX Slicer, but good to save coming up from version 2. MJ in his own corner here, trying to just get this one out. Gets a good block, and MJ, I mean, he's been one of these star players for version 2. We've seen him hit some insane clips. And he's not even the captain of this team, but this might be a good opportunity. MJ cuts on it, and that goal is just left wide open. There was like 3 Goons defenders, maybe 2, somehow like bumping each other. MJ just gets a beautiful cut, notices that he has some time and space, and version 2 now find themselves in the lead for the first time here in this matchup.
Just a little bit of a mishap on the goal line there. He tried to kick it out, landed upside down. MJ just gets a free hat trick out of it. And honestly, we said it was, you know, on Crawford to win them this game, but MJ must have taken offense to that because he has come out swinging, shooting 3 for 5 already. 500 points to his name, gets another shot, and he wanted another one there. He wanted to put the dagger in their bags as there's 13 seconds left on the clock. They're going to have to hope for something as B. Crawford says absolutely not. If anyone's going to score, it's just MJ.
This ball gets pinched all the way down. Might be a last second opportunity for Goons, but good clear by MJ, and this ball will touch the ground, and version 2 do walk away with this one. You know, 1 goal deficit. I mean, it's not too much, but version 2, this undefeated team, walk away with game number 1. But Goons, I mean, they brought it to them, right? I mean, with a minute to go, they were up by a goal. version 2 finally find that equalizer, but it was Goons for most of that game, Blasky. And I mean, like I said before, if any team's going to be able to do it, in my opinion, it's going to be the Goons. I mean, they've shown it time and time again, and I think with this energy that they're bringing, I think they've got a good chance to do it still.
Absolutely. I mean, even with version 2 being as aggressive as they were, getting 13 shots, the Goons only needed 3, and it was a 1-score game. As we see,
That's
I think
true.
potentially a car switch here for one of the Goons players. And I'm just hoping that maybe it's a mental check, it's a heat check here. Just to switch cars, see if maybe that makes a difference. And honestly, MJ just had played an outstanding game. I mean, shooting 3 for 6, that's gotta help a whole lot. Whether it's shooting percentage, whether it's goal participation, just goals per game. You'll just love to see that on the stat sheet.
Yeah, I think we have everybody, right? I think we're good. Sorry, some players were leaving, maybe like you said, doing some car switches and just making sure we're good to go. But I think we are, as we're getting ready to get into game number 2, and I'm hoping that Goons can come out of the gates firing just like they did in game number 1. They need to not let version 2 run away with this one. Blasky might have disconnected. I'm not.
Yeah, I had to reconnect it. My
Okay.
spectating was glitching a little bit, but we're good.
Okay, perfect. Okay, we're good. But anyways, game number 2 underway here between these two teams. And right out of the bat, MTX Slicer slices through everybody. A beautiful play coming out from him. Dr. Pepper doesn't quite get to the touch he was wanting. And MTX able to capitalize on that. And like I said, if they're coming out of the gate with all of this energy, and I mean, it's looking beautiful so far from Goons. Just 13 seconds in, already up 1-0.
I mean, MTX was the player that allegedly switched cars from what I could tell when he left. And obviously it made a difference. He's already scored a goal. But MJ wants to answer back immediately. Tries to get it past him. XLS kicks the ball up. Just one guy left back. It's Dr. Pepper, but you know he's a defensive demon. Throws out the net. Dr. Pepper can't get there as MTX gets his second goal already.
Yeah, just a weird touch. I mean, B. Crawford, it looked like he wanted to try and get there for that one there, Blasky, but just not able to make it there and able to capitalize. Puts it bottom left, and Goons are now up 2-0.
Yeah, that's where hesitation kills you there. If he made the decision quicker, he had that, but sometimes you just can't really tell what they're going to do. You see just even more aggression. This just feels like a total opposite of what the last series was. As we just see Goons just relentless. And he shoots. MJ tries to get it past 1. I mean, 1 shot on net compared to 3. As you see, MTX trying to do it all here. Can't get it past MJ. Gets it past 1. XLS pops the ball up to himself. Tries to kick it mid. MTX gets 1 kill. That's heading straight for the net. As Dr. Peppa gets his first goal of the series, I believe.
Yeah, I think it was as well. Dr. Peppa puts his name on the scorecard here. Gets a nice 50. Looks like XLS kind of teed that up for Dr. Pepper. And able to just slot that one in. Catches the last defender lacking. And version 2 find themselves a goal here. Just a quick minute into game number 2, but gonna try and get another one. Here's B. Crawford, the captain, with almost 2 goals per game so far, trying to make something going, but nothing comes from it. MJ puts it into his own corner, gets absolutely shut down by MTX Slicer. XLS there for the follow-up, maybe has another hit on it with Dr. Pepper. Good 50 comes out. MTX Slicer trying to get a shot on. XLS went up for the shot, not able to find it. Freak puts it up above the net, but great backboard defense coming from MJ. MTX Slicer puts a great shot on net, but good save coming out from version 2. It's so hard casting this M Mountain guy with,
yeah, try to
it's hard to connect the two names.
No, I get it. But yeah, as I was saying, I mean, Dr. Pepper, it's so weird. Like, they totally switched. Like, him and MJ basically switched roles this game, as he has 1 goal, 2 saves already. Only person really on the stat sheet other than 1 shot from MJ. And surprisingly, B. Crawford has been very, very quiet so far this series. I'd love to see more from him, as MJ sends a heater right for the net, but MTX with another save, already 400 points. And he is just absolutely wreaking havoc on the field.
Yeah, he's doing a great job of almost putting the team on his back a little bit here, doing a lot of the work on both ends of the ball. Trying to get another one. Can you get the hat trick? Puts it off the backboard. Nothing comes from it. Swell's a little bit awkward here. B Crawford does go up. He would have had the beat, but nobody touches it. Fakes out Freak, the last defender. MTX Slicer, though, gets a nice beat around one. Both Goons members gooning around in this corner, but nothing comes from as Dr. Pepper gets a nice counterattack. MTX Slicer, the last man back, gets a weird touch, and B Crawford's there. Almost puts the bouncer in, but MJ with the cleanup puts it in version 2. All of a sudden find themselves tied with just under 2 minutes left here. A great job for them to come back, tie this one up.
Yeah. And MTX really almost actually got back to that ball, which would have been crazy. That would have been a wild save off the side. He already has 2 goals and 3 saves. I mean, he is really trying to win this second game because you do not want to be down 2 games right away. I mean, you never want to be down 2 games, but
especially in the best of 5.
Off, yeah, it's a rough one as we see Freak try to keep it from bouncing off the bar. MJ kicks the ball up, tries to follow it up, pinches it off the ceiling. Crawford there, he catches it, tries to get it past one, he 50s it with 2 of them. But MTX following this up. Dr. Pepper with a little bit of a mistouch there. B Crawford has to make a diving save across the net. And we are still tied 2-2 with a minute and a half left.
Yeah, somebody's going to need to budge here soon, right, Blasky? I mean, again, we saw the same thing in game number 1. Both these guys tied with very little time to go. We're seeing a repeat of this as MJ gets a big booming clear downfield. No one's on the backboard. This is going to be awkward. Both teams, or both members of Goons double commit there. Dr. Pepper has some time and space to work with here. This one's going to bounce awkwardly. Almost gets the slot. That would have been a perfect shot from version 2.
Yeah, he almost hit that into MJ, who was diving across the net as well.
Can you imagine?
That would have been nuts. As Freak gets to throw one up at the post. MJ almost own goals it. Dr. Pepper kicks up in the corner. That was a little scary, but perfect pass down to Freak, bounces it. XLS is there and just flicks it up into the corner. And honestly, we're seeing a lot less aggression come out of version 2. I mean, less shots, less demos. It's a little bit of a different game. I don't know what made them decide to change up their game plan. I mean, they're still just tied, so they're not losing. But I mean, it's just interesting winning game 1 and then changing it up right away.
Yeah, it is, but 14 seconds to go. This one might come down to the wire. Will it go to overtime, or will somebody strike first here to end this one in regulation? This bounce is dangerous for the Goons, but a good clear by MTX Slicer. Puts this one in. Might be one last chance here. Bounces it off the corner, but Dr. Pepper makes a good read, and this one will touch the ground. So we find ourselves in our... did we go to... Was it overtime? No, it wasn't. Game 1.
Not.
But first overtime of the series in game 2. Good chance here for MTX Slicer. Got the flip reset. Freak with the follow-up, and there it is. Freak with the freaky goal. Gets a great one. And Goons take their first game win. I mean, MTX Slicer brought out the flip reset in Division D. Something we haven't seen since Murky Trout in Division C a couple seasons ago. Beautiful stuff coming from the Goons to take this one in overtime.
Yeah, and honestly, it was a totally different match, especially from MTX. He played out of his mind. I mean, you can see he's leading in pretty much, what, every single stat? So
yeah, wait. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen that yet, Blasky. I have not seen that yet. That is crazy.
Yeah. I mean, to lead in goals, assists, saves, and shots is just wild. And, I mean, they're going to need more of that if they're going to end up taking down this 5-0 team.
Yeah, like I said, that's the first for me. I mean, I've been watching almost every stream, and I haven't been hard watching, right, where I'm maybe paying attention. Maybe there's been one here or there, but MTX Slicer with the full sweep in every category. I mean, he ties in assists with B Crawford and XLS, but that is absolutely crazy. That's a first for me. Like I said, that could maybe be maybe it could have been done before, but crazy stuff coming from MTX Slicer. Puts his team on his back here and able to slot his team a win as we try and look forward to game number 3. And like I said, I'm really glad that Goons were able to get that one, because if version 2 go up too, I mean, you don't want to do that against the one ranked team, right? I mean that's a tall task to do, to reverse sweep the number 1 ranked team.
Yeah, it's not totally unheard of to pull some crazy shenanigans out like that, but it is a very tall task. As we see some more aggression, almost already a goal 5 seconds in. But, I mean, it is all offense and it is all Goons so far this third game. And there's just nothing that version 2 can do to get this ball out of their half. I mean, no boost for them. MJ finally says that's enough, kicks the ball mid. MTX didn't care. He kicked the ball right back at him. And I mean, they're boostless. This is exactly what I was talking about. If you could just keep on that, you know, keep holding down that boost button and making sure that they don't get any, there's not a whole lot that version 2 can do. They rely very heavily on that boost.
They do. I mean, I think a lot of teams do in Division D, right? I mean, boost management is a huge aspect of Rocket League, and when you don't maybe have the best mechanics and you rely a lot on that ground play, boost is very important. But XLS is slicing through this version 2 team right now, almost results in a goal. But already, like you said, this pressure from Goons has just been so good right out of the bat. Maintaining boost. I mean, every time I've looked over at the boost for each individual player, Goons have so much, and version 2 not so much. But we'll see if that onslaught can continue. XLS trying to find a slot there, not able to find it. B Crawford again on 0 boost, not able to make a touch. Maybe a slot opportunity. A little bit of panic on the Goons defensive line. Not able to find it though, but MTX Slicer, the captain of his team, getting some good backboard reads there. XLS with the follow-up, good 50. It's going to find its way over to the right side. Freak, maybe going to try and find a shot on net, but Dr. Bepper with a great shutdown there. And so far, this game seems to kind of be equaling out here, but maybe a good flick from MJ, but nothing comes from it.
Yeah, we're watching. Version 2 is just hoping, relying that at some point the Goons are going to make a mistake, slip up. And so far, I mean, in terms of possession the whole game, it just feels like it's been Goons the whole time as we see another shot bounce off that back wall there. And I swear, every single time the ball or the cam pans to a version 2 player, they are at 0. I mean, there's just nothing they can do to get the any of the pads, even on their own side. As we see MTX take a shot at the net, bar down again as he gets another goal. I mean, it's just tough.
Yeah, it is. I mean, what a beautiful shot coming from MTX Slicer, and I'm just laughing. I love watching his reactions. I mean, he's putting it all into this pitch right now. I mean, he freaks out every time something happens. I mean, he's passionate, to say the least. Almost an open goal, open net right off the kickoff there. But looks like MTX Slicer trying to get something going again, but Dr. Bepper shuts that one down. Freak, though, in a good position to keep this one in field. Gets a demo as well. This one might be dangerous, but MJ has great backboard defense. Able to keep this one all the way. Almost finds another touch on it, but MTX Slicer, great midfield presence here. Keeps this one in. Bangs it to the other side. A little bit of an awkward bounce. Freak not going to find the touch, but Dr. Bepper also goes missing. Looks like XLS going to try and just boot this one into the midfield. This one might be dangerous. XLS is there! And a great passing play from, I think it was from MTX Slicer there over to XLS. I mean, a beautiful combination play there as Goons go up 2-0 now. Just 2 minutes and 10 seconds left, and now version 2 looking like they might be letting Goons run away with this one.
Yeah, minus the alphabet soup you were just screaming while casting that. I mean, that was fantastic. It was XLS. A great play. I mean, they're playing super well, minus that backflip. I mean, Freak a little awkward, gets demoed. Crawford tries to get a little bit more aggressive. Bepper gets a less than optimal touch. It gets passed right down middle again. MJ up early. Crawford tries to beat him there. XLS just faster. Throws it on the sidewall. Dr. Bepper. It is an open net just about, but it bounces off the post. And version 2 get away with that one, as that should have gone in, but XLS is there. Misses that one. B Crawford gets it passed right to MJ. MJ versus MTX on the wall here. This is the matchup of the series. Oh my goodness. Crawford shoots it in, and MTX can't get this save as it bounces right back off and right into the net.
I mean, it all started from that MJ. Looked like he was initially maybe going to go for a ceiling shot, but gets a nice hard touch off the backboard. MTX Slicer can't read it, and B Crawford there to put that one away. They bring this one within 1 goal, and just a minute left to go. This one's definitely winnable here. Dr. Beppa with a great clear, but MTX Slicer gets a good diving save as MJ slaps this one on net. Put off to the side here by MTX Slicer. No hard second man, a good 50. This one's going to be dangerous. Dr. Pepper going back towards net, but MTX Slicer chooses to take the safe route out here. And 53 seconds. Maybe Goons might try to go into lockdown mode here, Blasky.
Yeah, and you also took note of it. He did not go for that ball again. He didn't want the goal. He went straight for the boost because he knew that he could just strangle them until they have no option to just let the ball go in the net. Once they're out of boost, I mean, that's just kind of it.
Yep.
And so Dr. Bepper, a little bit awkward. MJ tries to get a touch. Freak is there now. Throws it up into the corner. I mean, I can't tell if they're trying to stall or what, but it's just still a ton of pressure and not giving up the ball. Actually, the ball get past one. Dr. Pepper can't get back. And Freak, I mean, I don't know if we've called his name yet this series. If we have, that's on me, but gets potentially his first goal.
Yeah, I can't remember either, but like I said, just the pressure. I mean, there's 20 seconds left to go. You're only up by 1 goal. I think a lot of teams will try and lock down and play some hard defense, but Goons, they're just keeping on the pressure. Ends up working out. They maybe get the ice here. Not over yet though. 10 seconds. B. Crawford needs to slot this one now, but MTX Slicer, the captain, gets a good clear out. This might be bad. 3 seconds left, and I think that will do it, ladies and gentlemen. Goons taking game number 2 somehow, some way. I shouldn't say that. I mean, it was pretty dominant all game, but I mean, I only say that because version 2, they're the #1 ranked team right now, and Goons are making short work of them here in games 2 and 3.
Yeah, I mean, if you only watched the first game, you probably would have assumed version 2 is walking out of this 3-0, but something switched in these Goons players, and they have just absolutely ran the last 2 games.
Yeah, it's been looking great, and MTX Slicer almost getting this sweep again, almost leading the entire lobby in every stat, only missing it in saves and demos, both by 1 save and 1 demo. I mean, MTX Slicer is having a what's it called? I can't think of the name, but he's having himself a series, to say the least. I mean, this guy has been doing the most on both sides of the field, it seems like. And so far for me, on this Goon squad, it has to be MTX Slicer being the MVP for the squad.
Absolutely. And I just realized now, I don't remember, was this B. Crawford's first goal as well?
I think he has at least one. He has at least one before this.
I was gonna say, because he's been pretty quiet this whole series, and maybe we cast a curse at him straight out the gate, talking about how great of a player he was and almost having 2 goals per game.
Well, we do that every time. I've done that every time, and he always lives up to the expectations, but here tonight, just not finding the success.
My fault.
Yeah, it's all your fault, Lasky. But ladies and gentlemen, game number 4, Goons are on match point. If they win this game, it will be completely over. Goons will take down the only undefeated teams left here in Division D. Maybe even in, I guess not in all of DCRL. I think there's one other one, but nonetheless, Goons putting on a show here in this series. Freak, a little bit awkward here.
Way.
This is looking dire, but nobody able to from version. Oh my gosh, nobody from version 2 was able to capitalize, and almost results in a goal on their own end, but. Luckily for them, nothing happening here. Defense is falling apart here from both of these guys. This is a little bit awkward as MJ tries to get this one in the midfield, but a good touch in the midfield by XLS. Now MTX going to carry this one out, but a great pinch off the wall, and another one comes out from Freak. 2 pinches in a row, and this game 4 not disappointing already here, Blasky.
Absolutely, and one thing I want to take note is I think if version 2 just played a little bit more aggressive of a second man, they're making plays and having no one back as MJ dives across the net to get that save. That was fantastic. Still gets another 50. Crawford just barely misses the shot. Pepper with one off the bar as it gets saved. Oh, that was tragic. Freak clears it out. Pepper there again, but MJ touches it to the wall instead. I mean, that one's off the backboard. Is Crawford there? He is, but MTX gets a flick over both of them. And another one out of him. Pepper on the goal line, as we said before. I mean, he's kind of been that guy on the back line. He's just the one to rely on to make the save.
Yeah, I mean, both these teams just throwing haymakers right now, back and forth. It seems like both of them just having some great opportunities. There's now Freak, tries to get this into the midfield, gets it around Crawford, but Dr. Pepper's in a good spot waiting. Clears it downfield for MTX Slicer, who has some boost to work with, tries to get a 50 with MJ. This is looking good. XLS puts it on net. Can B. Crawford make the save? What a touch off the crossbar from B. Crawford. That would have been bad. This one might go back the other way. In version 2, strike first. After a beautiful save from B. Crawford, And then a great counterattack from MJ. What beautiful stuff coming out from version 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I know MJ got that goal, but I mean, B. Crawford made a touch that I don't think half of DIV could do if they wanted to.
No.
And that was just fantastic.
Oh my goodness.
Ball gets kicked to the side. No one from version 2 there. That's a bump. That's an open net for MTX. What a fantastic clear right there. A little bit of a mishap right there, but Freak came in and just... Was it Freak or XLS? I can't tell if they like pinched him or what. He flew straight up when both of them drove past. But either way, amazing bump from the Goons, just to result in a goal.
One thing I will say real quick is, if Goons win this series, everybody watching here that has seen their winners interviews knows how this is going to affect them. They're a momentum-based team. I mean, they're all on the vibes, all on the energy. I can only imagine how hyped this team is going to be if they take down the #1 seed, the currently #1 ranked team, version 2. It is going to be absolutely hype, and I think they're going to run with this season if they can try and get this win. MTX Slicer puts it out in the midfield for XLS. Not a great touch as MJ able to go off the wall, and that one's just in for MJ. A beautiful read off the wall, off of XLS. Is a little bit of a weird touch. And version 2 regain their lead with about 2 minutes left to go. Goon's going to need to try and bounce back unless they want to see a game 5.
I mean, absolutely. MJ, again, I mean, we've called his name time and time again. He is just being so strong tonight. He is just putting all the shots in the back of the net. And MTX, he's trying to answer back as much as he can, but he gets 50'd there as MJ takes another shot. XLS is there to save, though. Gets one touch, little awkward. Dr. Pepper is there, kicks to MTX, and now it's just MJ back, one-on-one, gets it over one, gets it past 2. XLS is the blast back, kicks it out mid. Crawford, a little bit of a miss, but Dr. Pepper's back, and I mean, a minute and a half left is still a lot of time. Anything can happen this game as XLS gets a little bit of an awkward touch there. MJ tries to kick it mid. MTX is a little bit awkward there. And another one popped right at the net. Can Dr. Pepper make this touch? He can, but it goes low. And XLS was waiting for that touch. He knew it had to come down at some point.
For me,
tied it up.
For me, XLS seems to be that positional player for this Goons team. Seems like he's always in a great spot. Maybe doesn't always make the best touch, but it seems like his IQ, his Rocket League IQ seems to be a little bit above the rest of the players on his team. I mean, he's just always in a great spot, takes good 50s, and you can see it right there. Just the patience from him to wait out that touch. He knew Dr. Pepper had to make a save, and unfortunately the rebound goes straight to him, and Goons able to get that last one. Minute left to go here, ladies and gentlemen. Again, we're tied up. All these games have been so close, but a double commit does come out. MTX Slicer needs to find his way back. Does find a good touch. Still dangerous, though. Keeps his ball into the corner. MJ does get bumped. This might be dangerous. XLS carries this one out, but Dr. Pepper gets a great clear out into this orange side.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's still anyone's game, but MJ throws out the backboard. Is anyone there? XLS gets a touchdown to MTX, and it pinches out. Dr. Pepper leaving that one potentially for B. Crawford. Yes, he does. This XLS gets an awkward touch mid. Who gets this ball first? It's MJ. That's not who you want to touch the ball, but MTX is on the back line. And it bounced off the corner here. Did you see another double commit? I mean, it is just panic ball now. Who can just hit the ball first is all anyone's thinking. Dr. Pepper with a little bit of a miss. Oh my goodness, that could have won them this game, but another one going across mid. XLS is there to clear it. I don't think anyone's there to pop this back the other way. You see, we go overtime for the second time this series.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, overtime once again. If Goons win this game, it is all over. They just need one goal. One goal separates them from taking down the #1 seed. It can be done as MTX Slicer trying to get this one center. Trying to find a demo, and MJ doesn't find it, though. MJ gets a good touch. This might be dangerous. MTX Slicer is going to be last man back, but gets a great pinch out of his own corner. B. Crawford looks a little bit awkward here as Freak does find a touch. Maybe going to go for a bump as well. Double commit comes out from version 2, but Goons don't capitalize on it. Oh, this is a weird touch. Freak needs to make a touch here. No one touches it. Might be awkward. Puts it towards the net. B. Crawford's there, but a great save and a great 50 by MTX Slicer.
1v1 versus MTX. Dr. Pepper is not phased as MJ gets a touch in the corner. B. Crawford follows it, gets an awkward second touch. He gets 50 Freak is there. Dr. Pepper tries to make a touch. No one there to follow it up, thankfully, for version 2. they are still alive. But MTX takes it off the wall. B Crawford is there for a nice save. He's gonna have to make another save here. Just kidding. Dr. Pepper's in that back corner though. As we see, MTX tries to get it past one. Freak is last man back. Tries to rip one at the net. Slightly goes off. MJ there. 50's past all of them. And again, it just feels like panic ball. Everyone is just hoping that some sort of mistake is happening while they dive at the ball. And then it ends up just no one hits it. This Freak just kicks it at him. Dr. Pepper with the awkward backflip. Crawford there with the save. As we see a ripper right at the net. Can MTX get there with a backflip? Oh my goodness. Just saved him. Comes off the wall. Tries to peek on him. Gets a 50 through one. MJ's there. I mean, it is just all over the place.
Oh my gosh, Freak with the Freak save. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, and it gets pinched down, but Dr. Pepper is there. What a save coming out from Freak, though. I still can't get over that to save the game. Backflip does come out. Dr. Pepper is there, and he gets the goal 2 minutes into this game for overtime. And oh my goodness gracious, this ball is just going back and forth, back and forth. You can see MTX Slicer in the cams. He's upset on the backflip there. Unfortunate for him. But ladies and gentlemen, I think we are going to see a game number 5 between these two teams. And man, Goons, they wanted that one bad, Blasky.
Yeah, I mean, there are some crazy saves made on both sides. And I mean, can we talk about MJ having 8 shots to his name? I mean, he is just the aggressor for this team. And I feel like no matter what, if a team's putting on 8 shots on you, it's so hard to win that game. Or, I mean, if one single player is putting on 8 shots, I mean, even if a team's putting on 8 shots, it's hard to win. But if a single player is, wow.
What baffles me though is the 0 shots from B Crawford. That baffles me. I mean, it tells me that he was maybe playing a little bit more defensive, and I think we saw that in the latter half of that game of regulation. Looked like B Crawford noticed how much pressure Goons were bringing, and he decided to kind of play more of that third man role to try and lock things down. And I don't know. I didn't really like it. I like B Crawford. I mean, he's got those 2 goals per game for a reason. And to me, at least to me, Blasky, I'm not an expert, but at least to me, it seems like he's kind of trying to change up his play style to try and do something to run away with this series against the Goons.
I mean, to be fair, even though he is taking the backseat on the series, MJ is surely proving that he can be that guy if needed.
That is very true. But game 5 underway here. I mean, you can't write it much better, Blasky, but we're going to see who comes out on top right after this game.
I mean, this is just a battle of the Titans. I did not expect this level of gameplay tonight. This is just fantastic. I mean, it just shows how much DCRL has evolved over time. As we see, oh my goodness, Dr. Pepper almost gets a goal out of that. MJ there for a little bit more pressure. Freak dives across. It's a little awkward. Can anyone follow it? Awkwardly bounces in front of the net. MJ still just pushing the ball whenever he can. All 3 players from version 2 in front of their net. I mean, this is back to game 1 pressure for version 2. This is what they're used to as MJ gets another one. I mean, get this guy his own trophy. This guy is just doing everything he can.
Yeah, I mean, I can almost guarantee you right now there's going to be a lot of question marks about how MJ wasn't a captain in Division D. I can tell you right now it's going to happen, but I mean, you know, combining B Crawford as MJ, either one of them on any given day can pop off and do so much for this team. And like you said tonight, MJ proving that he has what it takes to be that guy. You know, if either B Crawford is changing how he's playing or if he's having an off day, whatever it may be, he's proving he can be that guy. As he gets a great pass right in front of the goal, and B Crawford is there for the put away. I mean, watch this. MJ off the sidewall gets another touch. That is like the second or third time that I have seen MJ do something like that. And this just doesn't look like Division D. It really doesn't. I mean, it's absolutely insane, like you said before, the level of gameplay that we're seeing here tonight.
I mean, he just does it all. It doesn't matter. I mean, make him a Div A captain at this point. This guy is playing out of his mind. As we see B Crawford kick it to the middle. Again, we're seeing some boost steals here. Some awkward touches, a demo from one. XLS there to save them though. And MJ dives at that ball. A little bit of awkward. Pops it up though, so Freak has to make a really weird touch here. He still gets it though. Crawford, awkward catch, opts to take it back to the corner. Back pass to Dr. Pepper. And a little bit of a misflick there as MTX kicks it to XLS. And I mean, it's just like they don't know what to do now. Version 2, again, just game 1 pressure. Oh my god, I thought that was going to pitch in.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, MTX Slicer right now isn't cooking like he was in those other games, and you can tell. I mean, Goons have had literally no pressure on this version 2 net at all here in game number 5, and this is where it all matters, and it's really dangerous for Goons right now. This is like the version 2 that we are used to seeing with a lot of these Division D teams. Goons are not bringing it like they were in those other games, and I mean, they still have a lot of game left, over half of it, but they need to step it up right now. Bring back that pressure that they were bringing. Something seems a little bit off. As MJ with a crazy 50 doing it all right now. You can see MTX Slicer get up out of his chair. He's a little bit frustrated. I mean, what a 50 from MJ. You cannot make that stuff up. What a goal.
Yeah. I don't know if that was really his intention, but I mean, he'll absolutely take that as they take a 3-0 lead halfway through the game. And MJ trying to follow this up again. I thought he was going to try to get another nasty pass. But MTX potentially thinking he had enough, but Dr. Pepper just held his hand and pushed him to the wall. I mean, things are getting a little weird. B Crawford there, though. Kicks the ball past one. XLS is awkward. And Free kicks it into the corner. MJ there, though. I mean, this is just monster gameplay from two of these players.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
surprisingly, you would think that Ben Crawford would have been one of those two players, but who would have thought as XLS gets one on the board this series, or this game, I mean.
That could be the spark, though, for this Goon squad. I mean, it is a double commit, looks a little bit ugly, but XLS there slots it in. Like I said before, still a lot of game left to play. It's not completely over. They need to not give up hope. They need to bring back that aggression they had in those previous games and continue on this onslaught. MTX trying to go off the wall, gets a demo. They're gonna have a little bit of time. XLS doesn't find the touch though, and Freak is also committing. This could be bad. Can B Crawford put away? He can't. Goes a little bit too early and gets demoed in the process. Dr. Pepper pops this one up off the wall, but a good clear comes out, but MJ's in a good spot, pops it up high. Double commit again coming out from Goons. This is not what you want to see if you're a Goons fan. Might be dangerous here. B Crawford trying to go off the wall. Good challenge by Freak, but Dr. Pepper with a good follow-up. B Crawford tries to backflip and get a crazy backflip redirect potentially. Nothing comes from it though. Freak gonna carry this one. Grabs some big boost there. Goes up the wall. Hits it up off the wall. A little bit awkward here for B Crawford. Gets a pop up high. Still dangerous though. XLS goes up off the wall. No touch. Dr. Pepper goes missing. But MJ, the good touch off of his own backboard. Minute left to go here. And Goons are gonna need two if they want to try and take away the series.
Yeah, and as you mentioned before, I mean, they're a very momentum-based team. They really need to get something on the board here. Dr. Pepper left back. Tries to get an awkward touch past one, but Freak is there to meet him. I mean, we were just seeing a couple mistakes just out of panic for having little time. Oh my god!
There it is!
At least the MTX get a free one, 35 seconds left. They can absolutely tie this up.
They really can. It's going to be anybody's game. They're making it happen. A couple of misses come out. MTX Slicer comes straight down the gut. Puts that one away. And, man, this is going to go either way. I really need MTX Slicer to step it up here in these last 35 seconds. He's pretty much been the sole reason for a lot of his team's success. And here in Game 5, he seems a little bit slower. Something's a little bit off here. Gets a good touch around one. A little bit awkward. Gets a demo. Oh, man, he got in the way. No. Got in the way of his teammate. That could have been a good opportunity. Still 20 seconds, though. Double commit does come out from version 2. But a lot of time here being wasted. Dr. Pepper gets a touch towards the net. Good save by Freak, but another touch away by XLS. This could be it. 10 seconds to go. MTX Slicer puts it over to the corner, grabs some big boost, gets another demo. This could be dangerous. XLS tries to get a pinch. Rule 1 comes out. Oh my goodness. What's going to happen? I think this one might touch the ground. Freak keeps it on his car. MJ gets challenged, and that is it. Version 2. Win it in game number 5. Beautiful stuff coming out from version 2.
Yeah, absolutely crazy. I mean, what a way to end it too. I mean, you can't make that stuff up. It was just as intense as possible. Ending it on just a panic 0-second. Everyone's just trying to score. And, I mean, not much you could do there, but, you know, it is what it is. You took the number 1 seed to Game 5, lost by 1 goal in that Game 5. I mean, you basically won that series. You didn't get it on the stat sheet, but you know that you could beat this team now.
Yeah, I mean, just a chaotic series all around coming out here. I mean, version 2, you can see B. Crawford in the cams. He's a little bit stressed out, right? I think that's probably the first time that they've really been tested like that. And I mean, we're gonna talk to him here pretty shortly. But I mean, all around, just a crazy series coming out from both of these guys. Can't say it too much. We're gonna try and drag these guys in for a winners interview. See what they have to say. What the heck? It's not working. There we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we do have everybody here from version 2 back for another winners interview. I mean, I can see it on B. Crawford's face and Dr. Pepper. MJ, you were just stone cold the whole time, but I can see it on your guys. I can see it on your guys' faces right now. That was a stressful one. That was probably your biggest challenge yet so far, if I don't say so myself there, B. Crawford.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we went into this game knowing it was going to be a dogfight. And honestly, I was a little nervous going into it, but I knew our team was prepared for it. And MJ popping off always helps. I mean, I don't think I had a single goal that game, but I don't care. We got to win. So that's all that matters.
Hey, you love to hear it. I mean, you guys played absolutely out of your mind. I mean, Blasky and I commented on it a lot about, you know, the MJ heroics, right? We hype you up. We hype you up a lot, B. Crawford, right? Because you're nearing 2 goals per game, right? So we gotta hype that up. But it's really nice that you have that security blanket, you know, of MJ pretty much to be that alternate goal scorer for that team, and he proved it tonight. So beautiful stuff coming out from you, Blasky. Do you have any questions for these guys?
Yeah, Dr. Pepper, 2 questions for you actually. One, as like I've noticed you've kind of been the dedicated third man. You're getting all those saves or anything. Is that something that's like game planned beforehand, or is that just always how it goes?
Wait, what's up now? Okay, what's up?
Dude, Tech's over here distracting him, bro.
No.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So I was just, you know, you're the dedicated third man, it seems. Is that game plan? Like, are you always supposed to be back for those saves? I noticed that that's kind of a trend in the series.
That's how it was kind of the first few matches that we had, but no, we're trying to, you know, get me everywhere. So.
Got it. And then second question for you. I mean, I heard it earlier when I was helping with some technical stuff. And we see it now, Tech 7 in the background. Has that coaching just kind of been a constant thing throughout this season, or is this like a new thing that you guys took up, or how has that affected you guys?
No, that was kind of just him. He just decided he was gonna come over here and, you know, give coaching advice.
As if the undefeated team needed any coaching, right? I mean, but no, I mean, like you said, Dr. Pepper, you had a crazy series yourself. Like you said, I love seeing. I remember in the first couple of weeks, I remember commenting and casting or commentating about how you were literally like a goalkeeper. It looked like you were just like literally sitting in net, waiting for the ball to come to you, while MJ and B. Crawford were just zooming around the field. So it's fun to see your guys' play style evolve a little bit as you guys get even better. I guess for you, MJ.
I have something to say.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
There shouldn't be any more smack talking from the Goons.
Oh.
I wasn't gonna say it, but
well, I was gonna comment on that a little bit for the last question, but I mean, since you said it, I mean, we were gonna talk a little bit about, or I was gonna comment about how the Goons go about their winners interviews and stuff like that. I was gonna say, if you guys let the Goons win this one, they were gonna continue on with their talk the rest of the season, no matter what, right? They have what it takes to take down the number 1 ranked team. I mean, I think there's quite a few people. I'm seeing a couple people in the chat, you know, a little bit thankful that you guys were able to walk away with this one, because I don't think we were going to hear the end of it from the Goons if they were able to take you guys down.
yeah, no, I saw MTX with a shirt off right before the game started, and I'm like, if I win, do I take the sweatshirt off? But nah, I decided to keep it family friendly. But, Yeah.
That would have been pretty funny.
Didn't want to show this off to you guys yet. Maybe at LAN. Maybe at LAN.
Maybe at sub goal shirtless B. 200 subs and we see B Crawford shirtless on LAN.
No, not that again.
Okay, MJ, I'll ask you one question before we do head out of here. I mean, is it kind of? I mean, you've been hitting a lot of crazy stuff. I mean, we've seen some clips of you hitting double taps, stuff like that, you know, in Division D. Do you feel like that's kind of the position that you find yourself here on this team, and you know, to go for stuff like that and kind of fill in the gaps that B Crawford doesn't on offense?
Yeah, I'm just trying to enable my teammates as best as I can, whether it's B Crawford or Bepper. I just say I'm passing it, and if it goes in the net, I just happen to shoot it.
Just happen to shoot it. I mean, the amount of times that I see you get great touches. I mean, I commented on it during the match, and it's the amount of times I see you get these crazy like double touches almost off the sidewall. I've seen you get like 3 or 4 of those where it's crazy. You get a nice clear, you know, off of the backboard or off of the sidewall, and then you somehow find another one. We saw it. It was a great assist over to B Crawford, I think in game 4 or game 5.
Yeah.
I was proud
of that one.
The amount of times that I've seen you hit stuff like that is absolutely crazy, and I think that's just that element of surprise that you bring to this team. Every once in a while, you'll hit something like that, and it ends up going in. So so much kudos, so many kudos. I don't know how you'd word that to you guys for having such a great season and taking down a pretty loud team in Goons, I would say. Maybe I don't think you're going to quite shut them up, because I think by letting them get to game 5 with you, I think that's going to be enough for them to kind of, you know, keep the fire going. But I think beating them definitely maybe we'll hush them up a little bit. We will see. But we do have a 2-week break now, so maybe they're going to try and grind up. But nonetheless, very good series coming out. One last question for all of you guys. How are you guys feeling about your next week's matchup, or your next? I mean,
you
do you
are
guys know
facing
who
the number 2 seed.
Yeah, we're going against
Who's up?
Renegades, Kier, Paco, and I can't remember their third man off the top of my head.
Yep.
But yeah, we're feeling good, honestly. I think we got a good game plan going into that, and me and Kier have played a couple 2s together, so I kind of got a little intel on his play style. But
His teammate.
yeah,
His teammate down here, so
that's
I got
true.
the-
MJ has insider knowledge.
I got insider knowledge on Paco.
True.
Hey, I mean, alternatively, they have inside information on you guys, right? So it kind of goes both ways. So I mean,
It should be a fun game.
Yeah, I mean, both. I think Goons were trash talking both of you guys, both you and Renegades. So now to see you guys face off, there's kind of like almost like a trifecta forming in Division D. You know, between you, Renegades, and Goons. So it's kind of fun to see all you guys bounce off each other. But this one has went on long enough, this interview. Thank you guys so much for hopping on, giving us some great content. Game 5 heroics, you know, from you guys. Beautiful stuff coming from you. So huge congrats on your win, and good luck in a couple weeks when we resume the regular season play.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that will do it here for our first series of the night. I mean, it seems like I say this a million times a stream. You really can't ask for much better content than that. I mean, we get a game 5 between 2 very highly ranked teams, and it was a shootout. It was really a shootout. But Lasky, thank you so much for joining me here on the casting desk. It's always it's a pleasure, man. It's a pleasure. I love casting with you, and hopefully you come back for some more.
Absolutely. My cat's yelling at me that it's bedtime.
Okay, yeah, it is getting late for you, but maybe not for me. We still have one more series left, a Division C matchup, highly debated, and we have a new caster that's going to be joining us. Hopefully he's watching. It's going to be a lot of fun, but we're going to head over to a quick intermission. So please, if you guys will, just stay in touch. We're going to be right back for some Division C action. Peace out, guys.
Bringing me back to where